Right now, trillions of tiny living structures inside your body are fighting to survive. Every second, your cells are absorbing nutrients, removing waste, communicating with neighboring cells, and responding to changes in their environment. But here is the shocking truth. If the environment around your cells changes even slightly, your cells can die within minutes. Too much water? Cells burst. Too little water? Cells shrink. No oxygen? Cells suffocate. So how do cells survive in constantly changing conditions? How do they interact with their environment and maintain balance? Today, we'll explore one of the most important concepts in biology, the cell and its environmentia. We'll discover how substances move in and out of cells, why the cell membrane is called selectively permeable, how osmosis works, and why your cells depend on a stable internal environment to stay alive. By the end of this video, you will understand how every cell in your body is constantly interacting with the world around it. Welcome back to BioVision Learning, where biology becomes easy, fascinating, and unforgettable. If you enjoy biology and science videos, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications. Now let us enter the microscopic world of cells and discover how they survive in their environment. Cell environment. Every living cell exists in an environment. The environment includes everything surrounding the cell. For example, eternity salts, temperature, and neighboring cells. Cells cannot survive isolated from their environment. They constantly exchange materials with their surroundings. This interaction is essential because cells need nutrients for energy, oxygen for respiration, water for chemical reactions, and waste removal to prevent poisoning. The structure mainly responsible for controlling this interaction is the cell membrane. Cell membrane forms the boundary between the cell and its environment. It protects the cell while allowing certain substances to pass through. Scientists describe it as selectively permeable. This means some substances can enter or leave, while others cannot. The membrane acts like a security gate, controlling what moves in and out. Without this regulation, cells would lose balance and die. Structure of the cell membrane. Its cell membrane is extremely thin and flexible. It is mainly made of phospholipids, proteins, cholesterol, and carbohydrates. The phospholipids form a double layer called the phospholipid bilayer. Each phospholipid has a water-loving head and water-fearing tails. This arrangement creates a barrier separating the inside of the cell from the external environment. Embedded within the membrane are proteins that transport substances, receive signals, and help cells communicate. Think of the membrane as a highly intelligent border checkpoint. It decides what enters, what exits, and what stays out. This regulation helps maintain homeostasis. Homeostasis means maintaining stable internal conditions despite external changes. Cells must maintain proper water balance, temperature, pH, and chemical concentrations. If homeostasis fails, cells malfunction. Movement of substances across the membrane. Cells constantly move materials across their membranes. There are two major types of transport. 1. Passive transport, and 2. Active transport. Passive transport. Passive transport does not require cellular energy. Substances move naturally from an area of high concentration to low concentration. This movement is called diffusion. For example, oxygen concentration is higher outside body cells than inside. So oxygen naturally diffuses into cells. Carbon dioxide concentration is higher inside cells. So carbon dioxide diffuses out. Diffusion continues until concentrations become balanced. Osmosis. A special type of diffusion involving water is called osmosis. Water moves across a selectively permeable membrane from high water concentration to low water concentration. Osmosis is extremely important for living cells. Let us look at the three environments cells may experience. Hypotonic solution. In a hypotonic environment, more water exists outside the cell. Water enters the cell through osmosis. Animal cells may swell and burst. Plant cells become firm because of their cell wall. hypertonic solution. In a hypertonic environment, less water exists outside the cell. Water leaves the cell. Cells shrink and dehydrate. Isotonic solution. In an isotonic environment, water concentration is equal inside and outside. Water moves equally in both directions. The cell remains stable. These processes are essential for survival. Active transport. Unlike passive transport, active transport requires energy. Cells use ATP energy to move substances against the concentration gradient. This means moving materials from low concentration to high concentration. Why is this necessary? Because cells sometimes need to collect important substances even when concentrations outside are low. For example, nerve cells actively transport sodium and potassium ions. Plant roots actively absorb minerals from soil. Special membrane proteins. When signaling molecules bind to receptors, cells respond by activating genes, releasing chemicals, dividing, or changing behavior. For example, insulin signals cells to absorb glucose. Immune cells respond to invading bacteria. Nerve cells transmit electrical signals. This communication allows trillions of cells to work together as one organism. Without cellular communication, the body could not function properly. The importance of homeostasis. Of the most important functions of cells is maintaining homeostasis. Cells survive only within narrow conditions. For example, human body temperature must stay near 37 C. pH levels must remain stable. Water concentration must be balanced. Even small changes can damage proteins and enzymes. When cells lose homeostasis, enzymes stop functioning, membranes break down, and cells may die. Many diseases occur because cells cannot maintain balance. For example, dehydration affects water balance, diabetes affects glucose regulation, heatstroke damages cellular proteins. The body constantly works to keep cellular environments stable. This is why sweating, breathing, and circulation are so important. They help protect cells. Cells and their external environmentals are also influenced by the larger environment around organisms. Factors such as pollution, toxins, radiation, temperature changes, and nutrition can affect cellular health. For example, smoking damages lung cells. Ultraviolet radiation damages DNA. Poor nutrition weakens cellular function. Healthy environments support healthy cells, and healthy cells create healthy organisms. This shows the close connection between biology and the environment. Cells may be microscopic, but they are constantly interacting with the world around them. Through the cell membrane, they absorb nutrients, remove waste, communicate, maintain balance, and respond to environmental changes. Processes like diffusion, osmosis, and active transport allow cells to survive in changing conditions. Without these interactions, life would not exist. Every heartbeat, every thought, every movement in your body depends on cells successfully controlling their environment every second. The better we understand cells, the better we understand life itself. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, share with friends studying biology, and comment below. Which cellular process do you think is the most important for survival? See you in the next BioVision learning video.